and we're gonna start all over again. Now, this is gonna be for everyone that wasn't here live and they missed it. So if you guys are ready to rock and roll, let's say ready to rock and roll in 2025.
Ready,
Ready to
ready to rock
rock
and
and
roll.
roll in 2025.
All right, it's like herding cats, right? Everyone jumps in at
Ready to rock and roll in 2025.
There you go. You got it in there. Who was that? Was that Robin? Was that you? Robin, where are you watching from?
I'm in Greece.
Oh, you're in Greece. Okay, very cool. What time is it in Greece right now?
It's now just thinking. It's now 9 o'clock.
Nine. So two after nine. So what are you like GMT plus two?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. I'm pretty good with my time zones. You see that?
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
that. All right. Samala, how about you? Where are you watching from?
Las Vegas.
Vegas. Okay. Yeah, I could use some Vegas. I could use some Greece as well. We were supposed to go on a cruise to Greece a couple of months ago. We ended up going out to like Italy and the Amalfi Coast and Sorrento and flying out that way, and we had a really good time. But Greece is next. So Greece is next. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. All right. And Greg, if you want to come in and start sharing yours.
May
All
I?
right. Absolutely.
I really appreciate the straight, clear, simple way that you present. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate you as well. And I appreciate everyone else that's on here. It's really cool to see the names that come over and over and over and over again. So my goal is, look, at one point, I was exactly where you guys are at right now. Not knowing who to trust, not knowing what to do, frustrated a little bit with some areas of life, with my work, where I was at. And I said to myself, if I ever got the opportunity, I want to make sure that I give you information that's going to be clear, that's going to be transparent, that's going to be honorable, right? And then that hopefully you can take and you can get some results out of it. And I'm going to bring some people that are really knowledgeable and honest and transparent and clear in the information that they're sharing with you as well. So that's why I got my good friend Greg Caesar here, who's gonna go in and he's probably gonna over deliver. I'm gonna put some pressure on him. So Greg, the floor is yours, brother. Look, this is someone that I've known. I've known Greg for I think maybe about 20 years now. My son Tyler's gonna be 21, so I think for about 20 years I've known him. Yeah. So he still hasn't gotten any more handsome in those 20 years. There's still hope out there for him, but he is really, really smart. So with that said, Greg,
if you told me it was going to be on camera, I would at least shave to be, more handsome for the crowd.
There you go. There you go. Well, look, today you're going to share something with us, right? That you've been doing forever. You've been doing it for a long time. I come to your house and I see the results, right? You've got this amazing, really nice house that you have there. But I also see what you're doing. I see in the way that you're not only teaching people this stuff. There's a lot of people that teach things, but they don't do what they're teaching.
Yeah.
Or they're teaching something that worked a while back and it's no longer working. So you are proof of something that is working now. You're still doing it and you're sharing it with people. So that's what I really, really appreciate about it. All right, so here we go.
Absolutely.
So with that said, Greg, I'm gonna let you go in. You share your screen. You do whatever you need to do. I'll be in the background taking notes here. And if you guys have any questions, what we'll do at the very end. Greg, are you open to coming back at the end and having a Q&A if people have questions? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, awesome.
And before we begin, I'm going to show you guys one of my, it's on my screen right here. You guys see that? Success is hard. Failure is hard. Choose your hard. See that? That's behind me every single day. Success is hard. Failure is hard. You just have to choose your hard. So let me share my screen here. If I can find the share button, here we go. Entire screen. Share.
We got it. I could see it.
Okay.
Greg's screen. Isabel says Greg was a fabulous host on a Monday morning meetup. So, Greg, we're still getting people that are complimenting you about the information that you shared on the MMM.
That's awesome. I enjoyed that so much. It was unbelievable how much I enjoyed it.
There you go.
So I'm ready whenever you are.
Yep, let's rock and roll. I can see your screen. I'm going to turn off the entry chimes and then we're good to go.
Okay, awesome. So guys, today I'm going to teach you guys a new untapped way to build an online business that allows you to leverage into a billion-dollar industry. And the interesting thing is, most of your competitors aren't even thinking about what I'm going to be showing you today. And it's literally been under your nose all along. In fact, it's been under my nose for years before I even realized it was an opportunity. So I'm going to show you some things today. It's going to be, I know this is a big promise, but I'm going to make sure that I over deliver on that promise. So who am I? I am, first of all, I need your attention. Turn off your cell phones, turn off Facebook, anything that's going to give you a distraction, turn that off. And if you're serious about building your online business, then guess what? The next 60 to 90 minutes is probably going to absolutely blow you away. So who am I for those who don't know? I used to be a corporate guy. I thought I was going to be the CEO of a huge corporation. That's what I thought going to college was going to do for me. And I had a boss who said to me one day, when I tell you to do something, you do it. And at that moment, I realized I'm unemployable. This corporate thing was not for me. So I quit my job. I had to come home and tell my wife that I'm quitting my job. I'm starting a business on this internet thing. That's what we used to call it back in 1997. And oh, by the way, you're no longer a stay-at-home mom. You got to go get a job. So needless to say, I was probably on the couch for a couple weeks. But luckily for me, things have turned around. So around 2000, so what I was doing then was consulting. I'd go to a business and I was helping them get on the internet, teaching them how to get their websites done and things like that. Around 2002, I decided, hey, I need to get more internet clients. And I know how I'm going to do that. Let me start selling products online. So when I walk into the doors of a business, I could say, well, why would you work with that web designer? They don't sell anything online. And what happened, interestingly, is I actually got pretty good at selling things online. Since then, I've sold over 100,000 ebooks and courses online. Yeah, my customer database is actually over 100,000 people. And that's all, most of it without even having an affiliate. Since then, I've traveled the globe. I've worked with some of the most brilliant internet marketers. And then I started teaching people how to do the same thing and how to go out and market online. Starting around 2003 was the first time I was invited to come speak at a seminar. And I was like, matter of fact, that was Ty Cohen who invited me to that first seminar that I spoke at. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember that was back up in Connecticut, was it? Where was that? No, it was in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
It was in Detroit.
It was in Detroit, Michigan. That's where it was at. Absolutely. Right.
You-
Well,
you-
Greg, I want to go back really quickly. I know, if you don't mind, for those of you that are writers, because we do have some writers, we have some authors that are on this thing. I want you to be open-minded. The late Wayne Dyer used to say, when you are open to everything and attached to nothing, you'll start to see magnificent growth, right? You'll see this quantum leap levels of growth. One of the things that really stands out here is the fact that Greg has sold over 100,000 ebooks without any affiliates. All right, over 100,000 ebooks. And what's even more important is he's done that on his own platforms, meaning he hasn't done it on Amazon. He hasn't done it on like Barnes and Nobles. He hasn't done it on Lulu. He hasn't done it on any of the other traditional sites. He did this on his own site, right? So I want to point that out because when you have someone that has had the level of success that Greg has had, you really want to pay attention, and you want to pay attention for the duration of the time that he's speaking. So Greg, I just wanted to point that out in case anyone missed it, because you were really modest in the way that you said it. You kind of glossed over it, and I don't want anyone to take that for granted. I know how difficult it can be to sell 10,000 books, 20,000, 100,000 is insane. So there you go.
Yeah, in the process, let me tell you, the thing that I've always done is it's not about making money, it's about solving problems. Right? Most people are so concerned about two things. One, it's can I make money? And then their goal is the end of the journey, which is let me get to making money. I tell people you've got to fall in love with the journey, not the end result. Fall in love with what it takes to get there instead of just the end result. Because what ends up happening is You do things that you normally wouldn't do. You read another course, you take another training, you go out and you're learning because you're learning, you're loving the journey. So I fell in love with the journey, and it got me a lot of success. Since then, I've traveled the globe teaching people how to build their business online. And you know my story. I grew up poor in the projects of Stamford, Connecticut. My dad came from Haiti making $1 an hour, in the late 60s. And to tell you we were poor, it's an understatement. I remember shopping for us. My mom had a friend named Vivian, and she used to come on to the house with a bag of clothes that no longer fit her kids. And we would rummage through them and be like, oh, wow, this pants fits. It looks great. Jordache jeans. I'm going to date myself by saying that one. And so we didn't have much, but I'm going to tell you what my dad taught me, and my brother and my sister and I. It was the power of and the difference between mental poverty and physical poverty. See, in our neighborhood, all the kids were mentally broke, right? They didn't even know they were broke. They didn't even know there was opportunities. My dad was physically broke, but he wasn't mentally broke. He just didn't have his vehicle yet, but he was searching for that vehicle. He knew that there was vehicles. So he went from making $1 an hour to he passed away in 2022. And the interesting thing is that immigrant who came here making $1 an hour left each one of his kids a house free and clear. I got a house, my brother got a house, my sister got a house, and my other brother got a house. This all from an immigrant that was making $1 an hour. See, that's the difference between mental poverty and physical poverty. Some of the kids that I grew up with, they're still in that same project 40 years later. They don't even know they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, and by the same token, Greg, it's never too late to change either, right? I mean, look, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter your ethnicity. It doesn't matter your gender. It doesn't matter your education level. It doesn't matter how much, for most people, this is often a roadblock. It doesn't matter how much money you currently have, right? It doesn't matter.
You are always 1 second away from your next greatest idea.
Yeah.
Question is, are you listening? Look at Facebook. When Facebook came to be, or the idea, the second before, it didn't exist. They didn't even think about a Facebook, or Mark Zuckerberg didn't even think about a Facebook. And idea pops in his head. He goes, oh, Facebook, or whatever he called it at the time. So it is never too late. It's absolutely never too late to change your circumstances. So when I started my business, I had no money. I had no experience. We didn't have webinars back in 1997. So we had to figure it out. We had to go out and do whatever it took to get to where we are today. So now I want you to imagine, what would life be like if you had the knowledge and the skills required to create an online business? I'm going to let you know, folks, I put my pants on the exact same way that you guys do. The only difference is knowledge. There's different knowledge that I have that you may not have, and there's knowledge you have that I may not have, right? You guys are all excellent writers, so you probably can crush me when it comes to writing a book. So it's all about knowledge, and so my thing in life has always been, well, where do I get the knowledge? Who has the knowledge that I need to get what I want? So now I want to let you know, I'm going to be happy to share with you guys for free the system that we're using today and what some of our other students are using as well. But I do want to let you know, this is not get rich quick. And if you're looking for a do nothing, sit on your butt and make $1 million program, you might as well leave. This is not it. I want to give you a realistic way to build an online business with the goals of growing that over the next 1 to 2 years, not by next Saturday, right? Now, although what I'm going to show you is probably going to be one of the absolute easier things that you've ever done, you're going to have to invest some time and some thought to get started. So the word of today is going to be head blown. Okay. If anytime you see something that you say, oh my God, I never knew that, I want you to type head blown in the chat. That's going to give me the excitement to keep on going forward. So what is this business that we're talking about? Guys, it is an Amazon business, but see, it's different than the traditional way of selling on Amazon and what everybody else is selling on Amazon. I like to say, when they zig, I zag, right? So if I'm going to start any business, why start an Amazon business? And the answer is simple. Amazon already has the infrastructure. They have the customers. They've got the marketing. They've got everything. If I want to go open up a store, downtown, I got to do the marketing. I got to buy the ads. I got to hire the people. I got to show up in the morning. There's a lot of things that I need to do. And oh, guess what? I got to build a customer base, right? 100,000 customers didn't happen for me overnight. That took years and years and years, right? But Amazon already has that customer base. So now my journey, I'm gonna tell you a true story, how I got into the business. It was 2014. Everybody kept talking about, you got to sell on Amazon, you got to sell on Amazon. And I was at a barbecue and a friend of mine who's another internet marketer showed up with his kids. And he said to me, you won't believe what my daughter is doing. And I said, what? And he goes, she's making $30 to $40 a day on Amazon. And here I am, world-class traveler. I had been thinking about selling on Amazon. I got scared. I procrastinated. And his daughter, who was 8 years old at the time, was making more money than me on Amazon. Now, that pissed me off, but it also motivated me at the same time because I said to myself, man, if an 8-year-old could do it, I could do it. And that's what literally gave me the motivation to get started in the business. So now we're going to cover some secrets, right? Secret number one I'm going to teach you guys is how you can build your business fast, even if you have zero marketing experience. If you've never sold anything before, there's ways that you can get started and actually achieve some success. I'm going to show you the process behind that. Number two, small untapped markets are more profitable than large ones. Okay, I know you're saying that sounds crazy, but I will explain that. And the secret sauce really is an untapped category on Amazon that we've discovered that is way easier to sell in than any other category that is on Amazon. So let's talk about number one. You can build a very profitable and successful business in no time, even if you have zero marketing experience. So how is that possible? Number one, how to build a business without having to spend 90 hours a week doing that, right? Because who wants to work 90 hours a week? Most internet marketers think building an internet business has to be complicated and it has to take an extreme amount of time and effort. Now, if you're doing the same thing that everybody else does, the answer is yes, it does. But you can build a business in very little time if you learn how to leverage existing resources instead of starting them from scratch. So what do I mean by that? You can build your business from scratch or you can leverage an existing resource. Think about it. Right now, you're watching this webinar. My lights are on and I didn't go outside and take some water, some protons, neutrons, electrons, and create the electricity that is powering my device. What I did was I took the plug, I stuck it in the wall, and I siphoned off some of the energy from the grid. I don't even know how it got in the wall. I'm never going to even ask anyone how it got in the wall. Well, guess what? Amazon is that grid. Amazon's already built the infrastructure. So all you have to do is plug into that infrastructure and siphon off some of that resource for your own benefit, right? Why go out and try to build it from scratch? So, like I said, Amazon already has millions of customers. And here's the cool thing. For the most part, Amazon is like a gigantic super affiliate. They don't even really sell any of their own stuff. What does Amazon sell for the most part? They're selling other people's products. This is the one area you've got to give Jeff Bezos an amazing credit for. He said, I can go out and write a book and try to sell 1 billion copies, or I can get 1 million people to write books and sell 10 copies of each. So what has he done? He's created an ecosystem where he's selling our products and we all share in the revenue. So Amazon also pays for the ads. If you ever see an ad on Amazon, typically Amazon or on Google or somewhere and it's an Amazon product, for the most part, Amazon is paying for that. So imagine you've got a product that you're selling, Amazon likes it, and they actually pay for your ads for you. The other thing that Amazon does is they do retargeting. And for those who aren't sure what that is, think about you go to a website, you're looking at a purple couch. You leave that website, you don't buy the couch, you're on another website looking at a red car. And here is an ad that says, hey, we still have this purple couch. Do you still want it? And here's the coupon to get it. If you click on this link right now and you're wondering, how the heck did they know I wanted a purple couch? Well, that's called retargeting. And Amazon will follow you around the internet until you buy the product that you looked at. Now, once you buy the product, they'll stop following you. The other way they do it is an email, right? Have you guys gotten an email when you looked at something and then you get an email that says, hey, Mary, I saw that you were looking at this product. It's still available. Here's the coupon. Look, I wouldn't even know how to create that technology to be able to use it, but Amazon has it and we take advantage of it. The other thing is Amazon fulfills your product. So when you sell something, if you have a traditional business, you've got to get in your car, you got to go mail it, or you've got to go provide the service. Well, Amazon has what they call fulfilled by Amazon. In other words, you send your product to them. They handle the fulfillment, they handle the shipping, they handle the customer service. You know, the customer can't even call you. They have to call Amazon if there's ever an issue. So Amazon is doing the heavy lifting for you. So notice I said Amazon does the work, Amazon does the marketing, Amazon pays for the ads, Amazon does the fulfilling. So, and here's a screenshot in my computer where look at what all these emails said. Amazon has shipped an item you sold. Amazon has shipped an item you sold. It doesn't say, Greg, hey, we made a sale. You got to go do the work. Work's already done. See how it's in the past tense? So my question to you is, how much easier is it for you to succeed when you have a partner who's willing to do most of the heavy lifting? And that's what Amazon is. So secret number 2, instead of one high volume, super competitive product, you are much better off in several smaller niche markets that nobody cares about. So what do we mean? How do you build a business without having to fight the competition, right? Because we've all been taught you want to go where there's a lot of people, right? Well, most internet marketers think the only way to get consistent sales is you've got to find one super hot product that millions of people are searching for. Yes, there's some truth to that, but I'm gonna tell you what the issue is. So instead of one high super competitive product, you're better off in several smaller niche markets that nobody cares about. Why is that? Products that can have massive amounts of sales like that are going to have massive amounts of competition. Think about it. Let's say you've got, some affiliate who's making, 6 figures a month in sales, and you want to go in that same market. They're not going to let you get market share. They're going to do everything possible to make sure that you don't succeed because you're taking money away from them. So my answer is this: instead of a business with one product that makes you all your sales, why not have 10 smaller products that can make all your sales? See, small markets like this are a waste of time for the big players. Imagine the board of IBM sitting around a table and somebody says, hey, wouldn't it be nice if we can create a product that would make $9,000 a month in sales? And the board members say, yeah, that would be fantastic. We should do that, right? Or imagine a super affiliate who's making, multiple 7 figures a year trying to launch a product that makes $500 a month. What a waste of time it is for them. I mean, they make $500 before lunchtime, right? So markets like this, it's a waste for the really big guys. But the thing is, a lot of those markets, nobody's paying attention. So without competition, what happens is you rank much faster on Amazon and you can get to your first sale much faster than a traditional business. Now, remember this, what's easier to make? 5,000 or 50,000? See, we've all been conditioned. You got to go out and make $1 million tomorrow. My thing is, well, what if you can make $10? Can you turn 10 into 20, right? So go for the lower number, but go out and do that multiple times. And for me, I'm going to tell you what my goal is. So when I look at my numbers, this is how I do the math in my head. My goal is, can I create 10 products that just do 2 sales a day? And that's not success. I'm not happy about making 2 sales a day. But if I can do that 10 times at a $27 product, the math is, okay, $540 a day. So what you've got to do is say, okay, what's the number I want? What are the numbers I want? What are the targets I want to work with? And then you ask yourself, how do I work backwards to get there? Okay, so everybody has their own number. These are my numbers. Okay, secret number 3. This is the one I love. There are massive untapped categories on Amazon that are absolutely wide open. So most internet marketers like to follow the herd and sell the exact same things as everyone else is on Amazon because it's the story we've all been told. They say, look at all these millions of dollars. That's what we want. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to work hard in those markets. So most internet marketers think Amazon is saturated. There's no way I can start making sales on Amazon. Well, let me tell you something. Selling high-end information courses on Amazon is completely untapped and wide for the picking. Guys, did you hear what I just said? Selling high-end information courses on Amazon is wide open for the pickings. Nobody's paying attention. If that's head blown, type that in the chat box. Okay, so what do I mean? First of all, what is information? How to do X, how to do Z, how to do Y. What is college? College is a very expensive 4-year information course. I was just talking about that with Ty the other day. That's what college is. It's a very expensive information course. So what's cool about information? It's very easy to create and get into and sell information than other products. Like if I want to sell this calculator, right? What do I have to do? I've got to go out and find the calculator. I've got to put my name on it. It's a lot of work. I've got to get it shipped to my house, which takes months, right? Information is not the same way. Now, the cool thing is there are millions of people who are already on Amazon every single day searching for information. I don't have to teach them to do that. They're already doing it. Think about Kindle. Think about books. They're on there already looking for information. So from a marketing perspective, all I have to do is position myself in front of them. Whereas most products you create, you've got to go find them and get them to come looking for you. Okay. So now, aside from having competition, a lot of things in the books is going to be your price points, right? You're going to have a lower price point. So what is the trick? The trick is to take your content, your information, repackage it as a physical content, physical course, and then put it on the physical side of Amazon. I know you're saying, what is he talking about? I'm going to show you in a second. Okay. So you want to make your content physical. What does that do? It changes what you can sell your product for. In other words, all you're changing is the medium, how it's delivered. Okay. So I took an ebook that I had that we were selling for, I don't know, $3, $4. I took that same product, I converted it into a physical product, and I now sell that anywhere from $27 to $40. Not one word was changed in the product. All I changed was the format in how it was delivered. Now, the cool thing about being on the physical side is this. You're next to the blenders. You're next to the washing machines. You're next to the products that people are spending big money on. It's like trying to sell, if I wanted to sell jewelry, do I want to have a shop next to Walmart or do I want to have a shop next to Saks Fifth Avenue? I'd rather be next to Saks Fifth Avenue because that's where people with the big credit cards are actually going. So now the question is, what is a physical format? Well, let me show you something. Okay, you guys are going to laugh. CD. Yep, an audio CD. So an audio CD can hold about 1 hour's worth of content. Now, if you can teach somebody something without them needing to see it, you put it on an audio CD. The next one is a DVD. So if they need to see it, you put it on a video, which would be a DVD. So I can teach you how to lose weight in audio, but I can't teach you how to drive a car in audio, or I can't teach you how to fly a plane or how to draw in audio. I'd have to do a video for that and put it on a DVD. So I know what you're thinking. This guy is nuts. Greg, nobody uses CDs or DVDs anymore. And I'm going to show you, first of all, I'm going to show you about 4 other formats outside of this. But here's my answer, guys. Some do, some don't. So what? I don't care about the people who don't use audio CDs. I don't care about the people who don't use DVDs. I'm only selling to the people who do. That's who my target market is. So would you guys like to go to Amazon and see? Let me see if I can see the chat. Okay, would you guys like me to go to Amazon and see if we can find some sample products?
I think so. This will be a good time to go in and see what the research process looks like. So let us know, guys. So I see Sam, I almost messed your name up again there. All right. Samala says sure. All right. Tara says let's go. Let's see. Cynthia says yes. All right. So we've got all of us sures. The yeses coming in. Francis Brown says yes. All right. Who else we got here? Kari Schultz says yes. Carol says yes, please. Christy O'Sullivan says yes. All right. So absolutely. I think they're ready.
Okay, now, if I show you something and you feel, holy cow, head blown, I want you to type head blown in the chat. So let's go to Amazon. So here we are. We're at Amazon. And what I want to do first is click OK there. So what I want to do first is let's go and type in something that you probably don't think is selling anymore. Do you guys remember a 3-point 5-inch floppy. I haven't seen one of these in probably 15 years. But look at this, guys. 100 of these sold last month at $27. 1,000 people purchased a floppy disk reader at $18.
You know, I
50
actually was one of those people, Greg. I actually bought some, not that one, but I bought one off of eBay. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, 50, 1,000, 400, 300. Okay.
Wow.
How about this? When was the last time you held a cassette? Look at that. 6,000 of those cassettes sold last month.
Wow.
Guys, is that head blown or what? So now let's go back to what I want to show you. Let's type in weight loss because I want to sell a weight loss course, right? But let's do DVD. Let's see what they did. Okay, look at this one. That's 50 sales at $60 last month. That's not a bad little business. Are they a millionaire? No. But how about this one? 100 at $24. How about this one? 500 of those DVDs sold last month at $29. How about this one? 50 of them at $59. Here is 200 sold at $59. Guys,
Wow.
the DVD. 100 of this at $25. How about this one? 400 of those at $19, teaching people chair yoga. They didn't even
Well,
give
hold
out.
on. Let me do the math on that. So how much is 400? Let's do the math together, guys. Who can get that total in the chat box the fastest? 400 times 19.99. What is it? Let's see. So 400 times 19.99.
And look at all the head blows.
Ooh, 7,996. So yeah, similar 8,000 in there. So that's pretty interesting. That's a really good business there.
And considering that's one DVD, so it's only about 2 to 3 hours worth of recording on that DVD, right?
Yeah.
So you guys see when I say it was under my head all along and just never even realized it. So let's look at this one guy I really like. Look at this one, 500 of them. Whoops, I went back. 500 of these at $60. Okay, this guy, 229. Let's do chair yoga DVD. How about this one? 1,000 of these sold at $29.99. 900 at 19, right? So, guys, you see what happened here? Something that most of us was conditioned, nobody uses DVDs or CDs anymore, but they still are. Look at, what was a cool one I saw? Oh, here we go. Line dancing. Don't laugh at this, and don't even ask me how I found it. Line dancing DVD. Who wants to learn line dancing? 50 units sold last month. 100 units sold last month.
Wow.
50. Learn guitar Gibson. Whoop, I spelled that wrong. Okay, look at that. First one's a DVD. There's another one. They have a nice DVD set that they normally have. Let's see if it's on here today. Oh, there it is right there. Right? They've got a DVD. Now, remember, I'm going to talk to you guys about sets. So remember this product right here. So as you can see, people are searching for DVDs. Now, I'm going to show you the other formats. Now, before I do, let me show you the numbers. So this is a screenshot using a tool called Merchant Words that shows me the number of sales the previous month in Amazon. So 421,000 people searched for a DVD, 341,000 searched for a DVD player. I'm sorry, CD player. 575,000 searched for a DVD, and 268,000 searched for a DVD player. Now, Sony PlayStation sold 1 million units October 2024. What do you see on that PlayStation on the bottom right? There is a DVD player. So not only is people searching for DVDs, there's a million new DVD units that went out into the market. Xbox has sold 58 million of theirs, which look what each one of those has in there, a DVD player. Okay. Now I still have a regular DVD too, but I also have my Xbox, which has a DVD. So my question is, do people buy CDs and DVDs in 2025? They absolutely do. Here's one of my students. Last February, he created a product. This is his box of DVDs going to Amazon. And when his product got to Amazon on the very first day, he made a sale for $14. First day he did that, right? So not too bad. So outside of DVDs, what are the other options you have? You've got a USB, right? A lot of devices today still have a USB. You've got flashcards, right? Can you take content, put it on a flashcard, and sell it? I've got a student who does very well doing that. How about posters? How about cheat sheets? A cheat sheet is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that has content in it. How long would it take to fill up one piece of paper, guys? Not that long. So here's the thing. The cheapest item on this page costs 18 cents to make. The most expensive costs $2. Well, let's go back to Amazon. Let's type in
Great questions coming in as well, guys. We'll cover these at the end, so stay put.
okay, look at this. Flashcards, 200 units sold at $44. That's paper, guys, right? That's not a DVD. That's paper. 100 units, 1,000 units, 400 units. Let's do, okay. Onyx flashcards, 4,000 units last month, 2,000 units. Those are just words on paper. So it's content, but it's in a different format. You've got quick study guides as well, like cheat sheets and stuff like that. So there's a lot of other formats. So I wanted you to see that content in the physical format is a good format to be in. So now I've also figured out how to sell high-end content fully downloadable through the Amazon ecosystem, and I'll actually build a buyer list as well. So what did I figure out? And I actually saw one person that was doing this. So basically, let's say you take a product, you price it between $29 to $197 because that's the price point you can do. And what you're going to do is you're going to ship that product to Amazon. And once you ship it to Amazon, typically my cost is about 5 cents a unit. What happens is that person, when they place an order, Amazon sends them my username and password to go download the content off of my website. If we have time at the end of the training, I'll show you guys some sample products that, things I've done. So, but Amazon ships them the username and password. They go to my website, they register, and then they download the content. Okay, so that's how we're doing that one.
So Greg, real quick, so that we have clarity on that, right? Can you go back to that one slide if you don't mind?
Yep.
No, this is not Kindle training, guys. This is not Kindle training. Someone was just asking that, and that was Kathleen. So Amazon, when someone buys from you, they send them a link to access the members area. Is that it?
Yep. So,
oh my gosh.
Let me see if I
that's crazy, because the reason why I'm saying that is now not only you're getting that customer's name and email address, and now you have the option of selling to them over and over and over again as well outside of Amazon if you wanted to. Is that correct?
Yes. So you can still see me on the screen?
I do.
Okay. So what I send them, I'm going to flash it really quick because I don't want to reveal my niche. But what happens is I send something like this.
Okay.
In an envelope, but I'll put 100 of them in a little box.
Yep.
And on that paper I just showed you is the username and password.
So I think that's brilliant. And here's the reason why it's brilliant. Not only are you making the sell, obviously, which is what you want, right? But the thing and if you're in business, then you realize this. If you guys are already entrepreneurs, if you're already selling something, what's even more valuable is the fact that you now have the contact information for someone that's a customer. They're proven to be a customer. How many of you have ever bought something from me more than one time? Put a 1 in the chat box if you've ever bought something from me. And Carol says you lost me here. I'll explain that in a bit, Carol. So put a 1 in the chat box if you've ever bought something from me, at least more than once. So Judith, I see Kari, Isabel, lots of names that I know here, right? Christine, absolutely. So now here's what happens. You have this customer that just bought something from you, could be $27 or $197 as shown on the screen here. They now have the option of going and buying other things from you because you have their name and their email address where you can market to them. The reason why you're on this actual webinar right now is because I have your name and your email address and I'm able to market to you, right? So the sell is amazing. It's great. We all want money, but to be able to go in and contact a customer is just invaluable. So I just wanted to kind of point that out, Greg.
Now, I've given them some head blown moments, so Ty, I'm about to give you one as well. So one of the things we're getting ready to start doing now is put the Facebook pixel in the members area.
Wow.
And now we're going to be not only retargeting with different offers, but also creating lookalike audiences. And think about who's on that page. That's a high-end buyer.
Yeah.
That I didn't create. I didn't send them there. Amazon sent them there. So we're getting ready to do some lookalike audiences. And I took one of my products and I gave a couple hundred names, and Facebook found me 1.7 or 2.7 million people.
That is insane. I see where that's huge. That's potential right there, right? So maybe we could do a training on that as well at some point, because I think that's something that a lot of people could get value out of. I see where Donna says my head blown is on the login delivery and the envelope, which absolutely 100%. It's powerful.
Oh, we're not even finished yet, guys. We're just beginning. You guys know me. I'm going to over deliver. So, okay, cool. So let's talk about the process. How do we do this? So let's go. It's simple. Let's find a product. Notice I didn't say create a product. The market has to already exist. Let's not go out and try to create something. Number 2 is it selling on Amazon? Number 3 is, can I rank, and can I rank fast? And then number 4 is, can I go out and get content? All right, so let's start. Number 1, notice I didn't say, can I drive traffic? Can I do marketing? Can I create landing pages? Yada, yada, because I don't need that. Amazon's already got all that stuff. Now, can I go out and buy traffic? Absolutely, because Amazon has just created a new platform where you can actually go out and run Google ads and Facebook ads and track where it came from. So should I and should you run ads? Absolutely, you can. Now, can you do it organically? Absolutely, you can. It's up to you. I would prefer to do it the faster way. Okay, so let's find a hungry market. So what do all lucrative niche markets all have in common? Question is, somebody's already selling to them successfully, right? We don't originate, we duplicate, right? So go out and look for what is already successful. So let's use our handy dandy AI to find some hungry niche markets. So let me show you guys. I went to ChatGPT because, listen, I'm going to admit there's no shame in my game. ChatGPT is slightly smarter than I am. So, I will admit that. So I went to ChatGPT and then I said, let's move this here. Okay, here we go. Okay, I said, hey, chat, can you give me a list of 10 to 20 how-to information-based courses that have sold more than 50,000 units, include the name of the course and where it's being sold? Look what it gave me. Tableau 2020 A to Z sold 210,000 units. I don't even know what the hell Tableau is. But if 210,000 people bought that, what does that tell you about that market? What does it tell you, guys? Beginner Excel, 128,000. There's a lady, I forget what her numbers are, but she's doing really well in Excel. The Complete Financial Analyst course, I have no idea what that's about. 247,000 people purchased that product. AWS certification. So those are numbers that shows the markets are huge. And where there's people, there's opportunities. Reiki, 134,000. Then I said, okay, give me a list of niche markets that someone would go to Google and start their search with the words how-to because I want to sell a how-to product. So give me 20 and include the search volume if you got it. So, of course, how to lose weight is number one, 150,000 searches a month. How to make money online, 110,000. But those are big markets. You don't want to go after the super big markets like that because that's where you're playing against the big boys, right? How to start a blog, how to meditate, how to cook has 75,000. How to play guitar has 70,000. How to code. Coding is huge now. Look at this one. I love this one. How to knit, how to garden, how to repair a car, how to build muscle, how to start a podcast. So there's a lot of opportunities out of the make money and that kind of stuff. But do you see what I did? I asked the intelligent being, which is ChatGPT, you tell me where the opportunities are. Before in the past, you had to come up with the idea and then try to work backwards. Now it's different. You give me the ideas, and then I'll work backwards from there to see what's the ones that that I like. So I like to let the tool do the work for me. So here's what I call power word. A power word is how to. So if you go into Google or any keyword tool, just put in the words how to, and then let the tool tell you how people are searching for the words how to and what comes after it. So I did that. And the first one that came up was how to grow weed indoors for beginners. You know, the laws are changing, so people want to go grow weed in their house, and you just can't make this up. The second one was how to grow weed outdoors for beginners. I guess we've got a lot of weed heads in the world. How to eat clean, how to edit videos. Guys, why do you think edit videos had such a high number of searches? What do you guys think that is? Let's see what you guys think in the chat box. Why would how to edit videos have a high search number?
It's got to be social media. Everyone's posting and sharing videos on social now.
Everyone is a TikTok star. Who said that? That is Samala. Everyone's a TikTok star now. Everyone wants to be a YouTube star. Everyone wants to be an Instagram star. Everyone wants to be a social media influencer. So at first it didn't make sense to me. Why would people be looking for that? Then I said, oh my God, that's why. It's everyone who wants to be an influencer. So let's look at some of the other ones. How to fall asleep, right? If you have insomnia, what would you pay for a good night's sleep, right? How to get rid of bed bugs. If you've got an Airbnb and you got bed bugs, what would you pay to get rid of those bed bugs? You'd pay a lot of money. How to get rid of acne. You know, Proactive is not the company that they are because nobody has acne and they're spending money on it. They are. How to have twins. Ladies, I know the solution to this one. A little bit of Barry White music in the background, some candlelights, dim the lights a little bit. We can have some twins. In fact, that's my next product. So I'm taking some volunteers. Just raise your hand in the chat and I'll reach out to you. No, my wife would kill me if I did that product. But people are searching for how to have twins, how to install toilets, right? What happens if you install that toilet and you did it wrong? Woo, your hardwood floors are jacked up, right? What's that going to cost you? Would you be willing to spend $47 to learn how not to ruin your hardwood floors? Okay. How to improve your credit score. Guys, what happened in the last 10 years? First, there was massive recession. Second, there was a second recession because of COVID. What do you think all those people are doing right now when they're looking for homes and they find out, well, instead of $1,000 a month, it's $1,500 a month they got to pay because their credit is messed up? Would those people pay money to learn how to improve their credit? Absolutely, they would. So it's a good market. Again, how to lose weight, too competitive, but a better market is how to lose belly fat. See, that's a sub niche of the niche. There's less people paying attention in belly fat than there is in weight loss. In weight loss, you're going up against Weight Watchers. In belly fat, you're going up against Tom down the street. So there's a whole lot less competition. Now, is it selling on Amazon? So we picked our niche. We want to create a course that teaches people how to install a toilet. Now the question is it selling on Amazon? And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You want to sell where there's competition, okay? Now, let me ask you guys, tell me in the chat box, why do you want to sell where there is competition? Tell me in the chat. Let me see what you guys think. Let's see what you guys think. Why sell where there is competition? Okay, Dr. Trina, proves there's demand. You're right. Demand shows there's a market. Yep. Wayne, that's right. Aaron, you're correct as well. But there's one you guys aren't thinking of. Let's see who's got it. Let's see who's going to get it. Anybody else got an idea? Traffic. Darna, that's absolutely correct. Oh, Paul.
You can spy
Paul,
on them. I like that, Paul.
Paul must have been following me. He knew I was going to say that. Paul said, so you can spy on him. Guys, it's really simple. So you can copy. That's it. It's so you can copy. Okay, let's be politically correct. So you can model after them. Guys, think about it for a second. If someone is selling a product, they're moving, 1,000 units a month, a couple hundred units a month. What did they just tell you? They just told you what's working. Not only what's working, but how it's working and where it's working, right? Look at that product that had 1,000 units sold per month, right? Do you know what the price point was? Yep, we saw the price point. Do you know what the cover of their DVD was? Yep, I saw that. Did you see the title of the product? Yep, I saw that. Can you buy that DVD for 19 bucks and find out what's on the DVD? Yep, I could do that. Did you see what the title in their listing was? Yep, I can copy that.
Wow,
Guys,
this is insane. Greg, I give you a hard time sometimes because we're good friends, but I know lots of people in the internet marketing space, and I literally know thousands of people, geniuses that are in the internet marketing space, and you're easily in the top 2, top 3 of people that if I'm going to start a business, I'm coming to you to get some information. I'm coming to you to get some insight. I'm coming to you to kind of prove that model if it's going to work or not. So this is insane right here. You have everything right there, right? You've got everything. So Kari Schultz says blown again. I love it, Kari.
Well, 2 things. Number 1, I'm going to work harder so I can become in your top 1 and not the top 2. I'm going to put some effort in there. And then number 2 is
out of thousands, but you guys know who's number 1. It's me, right? So I can't put someone else above him. But man, you're number 2. This is awesome right here, right? This is insane here. When you said at the very beginning that you're not going to be able to sleep tonight, you must have been speaking to me, because you know that when I see ideas like this, it is very hard for me not to go in and take advantage of it. So that's I'm already coming up with ideas just by looking at what you have, and then I'm going to go into your program and really start to put this thing into place.
So let me put it into perspective why you go in the market with competition and where there's people who are already successful. That's because you are starting from a position of success, and then you work backwards in terms of why wouldn't it work? Most people start down here. There is no, I've got an idea that nobody's thought about. So where are you starting from? You're starting from a position of failure, and then you've got to work forward to prove that it works. I'd rather do it the other way. I'd rather start with something that I know is working. So when it isn't working, I know it's not the market. It's something I'm doing wrong. I can fix that. But when I start the other way, I've got no idea what direction to go in. Too much work, way too much work. So that's why I like to go where there's competition, and I'm only going to sell what's already making money somewhere else. I do not want to be, Apple and create the iPad. I want to be Amazon and create the Kindle. Because what did Kindle do? They looked at the iPad and said, oh, they got cameras. We should put that. They got browsers. We should put that. They got apps. We should put that. Right? They just copied the iPad and just made it smaller. That was it. Okay. So if they're making money, my question is, why can't I? All I have to figure out is, can I rank on Amazon for my content? Okay. So that brings me to the next point. We want to install toilets. We're going to teach a course on that. I just found out I can make money on there because there's other courses that are making money there. Now it's, can I rank on Amazon for my keywords? And it's the thing about Amazon is it's a very basic algorithm, and it's all keyword driven. Okay. Now here's the opportunity. Most people search on Amazon for a problem, not a product. Most marketers on Amazon sell a product, not the problem. So there's a void and a disconnect, and that creates an opportunity. So I want to give you guys two titles, and I want you to tell me which is a better title in terms of making money on Amazon. Now, the product we're going to sell is a time management course. Okay. Now, which one is better for Amazon? And here's a caveat. I could take both of those ads and run a TV commercial on them, and they would do almost identical. So both are really, really good, but only one would be great for Amazon. So is it A, how CEOs get more things done in an afternoon, the secret to super productivity? Or do you think it's B, time management course for CEOs, how to increase productivity and get more things done in an afternoon? And whichever one you think, A or B, tell me why you think it's A and why you think it's B. Let's see what we get in the chat here. Okay. One, two. Oh, one is taking the lead. I'm not going to tell you guys which one it is yet. Okay. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys, actually A1, but I'm going to tell you guys why it's B. The reason it's B is, do you guys remember what the product is? A time management course. What's the first three words in that title? Time management course. So when they go to Amazon and they search for time management course, they're going to find us. How to time management, they're going to find us. If they search for increased productivity, they're going to find us. How to increase productivity, they're going to find us. Although A is a very sexy title, there's not a single keyword in there. So let me tell you the secret with Amazon. Very simple. You know, when you send your box to Amazon, Amazon has no idea what's in that box. Whether it's a small box, a big box, a flat box, they have no idea what's in that box. The computers have no idea what's in that box. The people who put it on the shelf have no idea what's in that box. You know how Amazon knows? When you tell them. And the way that you tell them is to put your keywords in your title. That's one of the number one places. There's a couple other places, but that's going to be the number one. So you got to make sure your keywords are in the title. So what is the trick with Amazon? Your competition is not the market. In other words, weight loss is not your competition. It's your keywords in the weight loss space. So your job is to find keywords people are searching for that your competitors are not using, right? Because Amazon, the algorithm is designed to show the closest match to the customer, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So in other words, like I said, weight loss is not your competition. It's the keywords in the weight loss space that is your competition. Now, so we found out we're going to sell a course on how to install toilets. We found out it's selling well on Amazon. I just found my keywords and yep, I can rank on the first page. Now the question is my content. Now, notice I didn't say content first. Most people, we've been taught, go create a content, then go sell it. Do you guys see what we did? I said, let's find what's working, then create content to solve the problem to that solution. Okay. I already know I've got a working model on my hand by this point. Okay. So content is the last step for me, not the first step. I only create content once I know I have a winner on my hands. I don't believe in wasting my time, money, or energy. So I only like to do it once I know I've got a winner on my hands. And don't reinvent the wheel, right? Repurpose what's already out there. Plenty of content that you can use. So let's create content. You've got a couple options. Number one, let's say you were straight A student in, algebra and in geometry. Maybe you know how to ride a unicycle. You like to skydive and scuba dive. Well, why not share the knowledge that's already in your head? It's already there. Most of us have knowledge about something. And don't think, oh, I need to be, an Air Force pilot to teach people how to fly. No, you just need to know how to fly to teach the people who don't know how to fly how to fly. You don't have to be an Air Force pilot. You just need to know how to fly. Okay. So Maybe you're like me, you failed algebra, you got a D in geometry, don't have enough balance to ride a unicycle. I'm terrified of flying, so I have no idea why people like to jump out of a completely safe plane. And I almost drowned 3 times, so I'll be damned if you're going to get me in a scuba. So guess what I could do? I could still sell a course teaching people how to scuba dive. I'm just going to have to share the knowledge that's inside of somebody else's head. I don't have to be the instructor, right? So now, where else can we get content? How about AI? Okay, guys, another head blown moment. Let's go to AI. Let's go to, where is my, okay. We talked about cheat sheets earlier, right? Let me show you what I did this morning. I went to AI and I said, hey, what is the purpose of a cheat sheet or a quick study guide? And chat says, the purpose of a cheat sheet or quick study guide is to provide a concise, easy to reference summary of important information on a specific topic. They are designed to simplify complex concepts and help users quickly review or learn key facts. Would people pay money for formulas, processes, and shortcuts? 100%. So, and then it gave me examples, quick reference, simplified learning, time saving, etc., etc. So then I said, I took a picture that I found online of a cheat sheet. And then I said, hey, chat, can you tell what this, that this is a cheat sheet? Chat says, yes. This image appears to be a cheat sheet or quick study guide. It has structured layouts and, clearly defined sections, etc., etc. So I said, can you tell by looking at it how much content is on the cheat sheet? And it says by looking at it, it's clear that the cheat sheet contains a large amount of condensed content. Here's why. So it's explaining to me. Then I said, perfect. I'm looking to create cheat sheets with anywhere from 2 to 4 sides. I want to sell them on Amazon around $9.99 to $15. I would like you to give me 20 ideas for cheat sheets that you can come up with enough content to fill 2 to 4 pages using a similar format and font size as what I gave you, that has the potential to sell 200 units or more per month if I were able to get good rankings on Amazon. Also, keep in mind, you will be creating the content. Boom. Look what, here are 20 cheat sheet ideas. Academic study, mastering math, English and grammar, speed reading, study skills, technology, Microsoft Excel, Python, social media. Guys, look at this. Financial budgeting, beginner guitar. Okay, so then I said, how many did you come up with? Here's one. I said, so one of them here was digital marketing metrics KPI. So I said, hey, I like that one. I said, how many digital marketing metrics and KPIs can you come up with? It said, I can come up with 40. I said, okay, perfect. Well, I want you, so it gave me the list. And I said, okay, great. I want you to create me a comprehensive cheat sheet for KPIs and metrics. Do not leave anything out. If there's extra information you need, please go ahead and do that. Think like a teacher. The user needs to know what the metric is, why it's important, and how to measure it, and the formula. Give me examples of the formula. Guys, look at that. Exit rate, pages per session, mobile versus desktop. I mean, it's going through and it's actually giving me the examples, definition, importance, how to measure, formula, example. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that. In less than 2 minutes, I got a cheat sheet that can teach people what they need to know for their metrics for if they were running an internet marketing business. Guys, type this in the chat box. How many of you guys think you could do what I just did? What do you guys think? Do you think that was hard? Do you think you can do that? You guys are at a revolution. I call AI probably and somebody else said this too, the biggest evolution in humanity after the discovery of the atom. I can't think of anything in my lifetime or in the last 100 years that's going to impact our lives more than AI. I literally just created a product that I could sell on Amazon, and that took me all of about 2 minutes. Now, I know the KPIs in marketing because I've been doing it for so many years, but I could have easily done that for something in the guitar space. I could Okay, let's do that. Give me the content for a 2-page cheat sheet in the guitar space. And then it goes to town. And look at that, guys. Don't you feel sorry for me and all that typing I just had to do? Like my fingers are hurting right now from all that typing I just did. Look at that. I don't know what none of this means because I don't play the guitar, but I can sell it. I promise you that. KPI stands for Key Performance Index. Basically, it's your analytics and your numbers. Guys, is that head blown how fast I was able to create a guitar product? Look at that. It's still going. Look at that. So we've got AI that can do the work for us, right? So not only is Amazon doing most of the fulfillment in the business side, now we even have AI to do the creation side as well. What's the biggest thing you have to do now? Is come up with new ideas and things to sell. Think about that. That's all you have to do now is come up with new things. So there's plenty of Kindle products that are doing very, very well on Amazon that you could say, oh, what has got 2,000 reviews? What has got 3,000 reviews? Let's see if I can create a product around that. You can create it yourself. You can, again, if you're going to do that, remember, repurpose what's already out there. You can outsource it, get somebody to create it for you. I'd rather pay someone $100 and let them do it, let them figure it out. PLR. Now, on Kindle, you can't use PLR. On the physical side, you can, because remember, you're going to take that PLR and turn it into an audio. You're going to turn it into a cheat sheet. You're going to turn it into a video. It's a completely different format. So in that case, it's 100% unique. So you can use PLR as the basis. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys can still see me on the camera here, but this product here, these DVDs, that's 100% PLR. I bought it for about 40 bucks. Okay. And then I paid a guy to record it into audio and I sold those on Amazon. Now I like licensing. Licensing is I buy the rights to somebody's product. And then you could also partner, right? Like I said, I can create a course on, how to skydive. Now I'm not going to jump out that plane, but I can partner with you and I could be on the ground taking a picture as you're floating through the air. Now I hope you don't hit the ground too hard, because if you do and you don't make it, we still go live with the product. You just don't get to share in the revenue. And I'll thank you for that. But, we can certainly partner. So now let's talk about scaling your business, right? Your goal is, can I come up with 5 to 10 courses over the next 1 to 2 years to create? I'm going to be honest with you. You can do a whole lot more than that, because on average, I can get, if I buy the license to a product, that's less than an hour's worth of work. If I'm going to create it myself, especially with ChatGPT and my graphics, maybe hour and a half, 2 hours. So you can do a whole lot more than that if you wanted to, but make it your goal. Can I go out and make, create 5 courses a year over the next 1 to 2 years? And then ask yourself, well, what can I do over the next 10 to 15 years, right? What's stopping you from doing that? Now, in the next 10 to 15 years, no way you can play a DVD. And is that a problem? No, because let's say you're ranked #1 on Amazon for your weight loss DVD. 10 years from now, nobody's buying DVDs. Well, how do you fix that problem? Okay, whatever the new medium is, you're going to Amazon and change the pictures. That's it. That's all you have to do is change the pictures. What you did is you got the ranking. What the content is in the pictures, that's easy to change, right? Maybe 10 years is some invisible thing you hold in your hands. Well, I'm going to go to Amazon. I'm going to put the picture of the invisible thing, and that's the new way we're selling our weight loss content. So don't think, well, in 20 years, we're not going to have DVDs. Should I do this? Or we're not going to have flashcards, whatever. It's the ranking is what you're going for now. Okay, now you want to upsell. The best person to upsell to is someone who's already purchased from you. So basically, we let Amazon drive our sales, and then we let Amazon deliver our message that actually upsells the customers to buy our additional products. And guess what? We don't have to pay for that because Amazon's delivering that message to the customer for us. Now, remember I told you guys about the kit? Okay, a kit is nothing more than one of the most profitable things you can do. So think about if you had 2 units, 2 items that you sell that were $10 each. while everyone is selling the product individually for $10, you take those two items, you combine them into one package. And then what you do is you sell it for $20 to $30, right? So what are you doing? You're creating value. So let me give you an example. Here's an apple. If I were to ask you to give me $3 for this apple, you'd probably tell me I was crazy. I'm not going to give you $3 for one apple. Okay? Here's a gift basket. Harry and David has 10 apples or 10 pears in that gift basket. Well, why does that gift basket cost $115? Well, those apples cost $15 a pair or each, yet nobody ever complains. Why is that? Because Harry and David combined them, and in the act of doing that, the human mind sees value. And the minute it sees value, it says, I'm willing to spend the money on that. Okay, that's why you create what we call the kits. So on the content side, how do we do that? Just more DVDs. That's it. More cheat sheets, more binders or whatever. That's all you're doing. So now here's the thing. Which would you pay $100 for? This one CD or DVD or this kit on the right? Now I'm going to give you a head blown moment. I didn't say the item on the right has more content than the item on the left. They could be identical. All I did was break it down. Think about a book. You take your book, instead of 10 chapters, you have 10 audios. What does that look like? It looked like it's some big, massive thing. It isn't. It's the same amount of content. But because of that, you now can charge $100 or whatever you want to charge for that. Okay. So can I do books? Yes. If you're going to do books as a kit, just do multiple books like you see here. And I know Ty's taught you guys about how to do book sets. That's what you want to do, is the book sets. Okay. Guys, are you enjoying this training? I want to make sure we're going in the right direction. Let me know in the chat box. Oh, Judith says so good. Thank you. You guys are awesome. First of all, I'm going to let you know something. I don't know how you guys got together, but Ty's group, you guys are so wonderful. Last month I was at an event and I got to meet another one of you guys that were from the Monday morning meetup. A wonderful group of folks you guys are. And Ty's always talks amazing about you guys. And I love coming and being in front of you guys. You guys are awesome. Okay, so what did we cover? Number one, how to build a business in less time, even if you have zero experience. We're going to let Amazon do its thing. We're just going to ride their coattail. Okay. Secret number two, small untapped markets are more profitable than large ones. And the reason is because the large one's going to be too much work for us to go into. I'd rather go after that small one, but have 5 or 10 of them versus trying to get that one that's going to be my retirement, right? It's just too hard. And those players are not going to let me get the market share. And number three, why mess around with the blenders and the toasters and all that other stuff? Sure, I can make money in them, but who wants to order 1,000 toasters, right? You see those cards that I showed you earlier that I sent to Amazon? I bought 100 of those for about $7. Then I put them in my envelope and I put it in the box, and it cost me about $3.50 to $5 to ship that box to Amazon. Why would I want to order blenders, right? So now, why information on Amazon? Guys, when they zig, you zag. I just showed you. We're looking at content and categories that even myself, we thought didn't exist, but they do. You've seen it yourself. So when the marketplace is zigzagging, they're going in this direction, let's go the opposite, because that's where the opportunities are. So you're able to fly underneath the radar that your competition is not paying attention to. It's easier to create info products versus ordering 10,000 blenders. It's a 95% hands-off business, right? There's work being done. I mean, Amazon is, for the most part, is doing most of the heavy lifting, right? So they're doing it for us on our behalf. Distribution. So this is the opportunity. So what we're doing is we're taking content which exists, we're changing the format in the media, and then we're adding the distribution component to it. Because any product you want to sell, you need distribution. You need a way to sell that product. Well, Amazon gives us massive distribution. People who go to Amazon are not looky-loos, they're buyers. You only go to Amazon to buy. Think about it. I pay Amazon, I just paid them $170 for my Prime account a couple weeks ago. And then I was looking at that and I said to myself, man, I just paid Jeff Bezos $170 so I can buy more of his stuff. Could you imagine that, guys? We actually pay them money for the privilege to buy more things from them. You see how they've conditioned us? How crazy is that? So I also got a free marketing team because Amazon's doing all the marketing. I don't got to do that. And the cost to create info products, if I create the content myself, it doesn't cost me anything. If I outsource it, okay, I'm gonna have to pay someone for it, but they're still a whole lot cheaper than ordering 10,000 blenders. Okay. Speed to market. I can come up with an idea today, go into ChatGPT. Tomorrow, my product is done. Let's look at blenders. Okay, I want to sell blenders today. I got to find someone to wholesale them from. I got to get them shipped to me from somewhere, minimum 3, 4, 5, 6 months before I even get the product. Okay, so speed to market is way faster. And like I said, also we've outsourced our fulfillment to Amazon. And nobody thinks about Amazon as the largest content distribution channel on the planet. Think about it. Who sells more information than Amazon? They put Barnes and Noble out of business. So our competitors are not thinking, let me sell content on Amazon. They're thinking, let me sell Rubik's Cubes. Let me sell computers. Let me sell, vitamins, that kind of stuff. But it's the largest content distribution channel on the planet. Nobody sells more content than them. But the number one reason is what I said earlier, because Amazon has buyers. Let me show you the conversion numbers on one of my products when I took the screenshot. Now, an average website, 1 to 3% conversion rate is considered good. This particular product was at 23%, and it was the highest was 36%. That means 1 out of every 36 people purchased the product. On my website, if I can get 1 out of 3, I'm extremely happy. And most people tell you 1 out of 100 is what you want to go for. So that's the difference. One of my students, I think his highest conversion rate was about 53% is what he did for his particular product. Okay, so no more barriers. There's nothing holding you back anymore. You don't need websites, you don't need marketing, you don't need advertising, search engines, you don't need PPC. And if you can't spell PPC, don't worry about it. You don't need it. You don't need Facebook. You don't need product fulfillment, Shopify. You don't need, ClickBank. You don't need, ClickFunnels, Go High Level. You don't need Google. You don't need competition. All the things that have held you back in the past, you don't need that. You don't even need content creation anymore because AI can do that for you. You don't even need to figure out what you want to sell. Just like we just did, let AI do that as well. So let's get a couple of these out of the way. I'm nobody. Who's ever going to buy from me? Because I know some of you are thinking that. Well, let me tell you, my name is not on any of my products. Let me see, what's the name I got on this product? Oh, this particular product here, I got the name of Mark Johnson. Ask me who Mark Johnson is. I have no idea. I just found that online and it sounded good. So my name is not on any of those products. Okay. So they don't know they're buying it from Greg Caesar. So they don't care who they're buying it from. They care, can you solve their problem? Okay. I live in another country. Can I do this? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think it's a requirement that whatever country you're in, that you sell in every country. Amazon has a distribution channel. So Amazon US, okay, Amazon UK, Amazon Singapore, you should aim to be in every single one of them. One of my top students is in the UK, right? He could sell in the US if he wants to. One of my students in Canada, how he doubled his sales was he started selling in Amazon UK. That's how he doubled his sales. Information is free on YouTube. Why would they buy from me? Yeah, every algebra problem you're ever going to do is also free on YouTube, but we all pay, $20, $30, $40,000 a year to go to college to get the same problem, right? Remember, they're not on Amazon looking for, let me give you an example of what that search process looks like. They go to Amazon, they got backaches. So here's what they do. They come in here and they type in lower back pain. Okay? Now, and they're searching and look at all the different types of products. And, what happens is your content is just going to be one of the items listed here. And then they say, oh, low back exercises. I didn't think about that. Let me get low back exercises. That's how that search process goes. So yes, there's free information on Amazon, on YouTube, but they're not on YouTube. They're on Amazon looking with a credit card in their hand, and they just happen to see your content. What do I know? What can I teach? You don't gotta know nothing. Can you find somebody who's a low back exercise expert? If you can you take out a camera and record? And by the way, don't think you need to go out and buy some fancy camera. Your iPhone is all you need. Okay. Like I said, I have no experience. Can I do this? Look, if an 8-year-old was kicking my butt all over town, and that's when I got my aha moment, there's nothing to stop you from learning what it takes to sell on Amazon. Now, right now, you may not know, but tomorrow that's going to change. The day after that, it's going to change. And every day you work at getting better and better. I don't have time. I think that's time is an excuse. You can get up a half hour earlier in the morning. You can stay up half hour later in the evening. So time is easy to do. Can I afford this? Look, will you spend some money if you're going to outsource your content? Yeah, you're going to have to pay someone to create that content for you. Now, if you do it yourself, no, it doesn't cost you anything to take your own content and talk on a microphone for 2 hours. So it depends on where you're at and what you're more comfortable with. For me, I would rather buy the content because I can get started much faster. I used to do them myself. Right? My best selling product, I created the content myself. But like I said, now I would rather purchase. So totally up to you. Does this still work today? Well, does Amazon still exist today? Do humans still read today? Do humans still absorb content today? And the answer is yes to all of those. So yes, it still works today. So guys, who wants to take things to the next level? If that is you, let me know in the chat box that you are ready. Type "I'm ready" in the chat box. While I get a swig of water. Awesome. We're getting some I'm ready's already. Cool. So, guys, let me tell you about my training, Amazon Masterclass. Basically, it's a step-by-step training designed for beginners and intermediate marketers who want to create an automated Amazon income stream without having to go out and spend a ton of money, which is going to allow you to build your online business faster and without the struggles of building a traditional internet business. Look, I've built a traditional business. I've done it. Probably 6 or 7 of them. I've had more fun with what we've done on Amazon than anything I've ever done. And why? Because I didn't have to build the business the way I typically would have had to with a normal business. It takes work, right? So if you're a beginner and you've never sold anything online before, when I created the content, I thought about you because that's where I was when I got started. I spent a year terrified of Amazon before I did anything on Amazon, right? So I thought about, okay, what's going through the mind of somebody who hasn't done it yet? And let's not leave anything, no stone unturned. So I go really deep. I assumed you haven't touched Amazon whatsoever. If you are intermediate, so you've sold some things, you're starting to really get it and understand, this is good for you as well. Because why? This allows you to add an additional revenue stream without taking away from what you're doing. Like I showed you guys the those CDs and DVDs that I sold. I bought resale rights to those for about $40. Took me 10 minutes to hire someone to go and record it into audio. So I may have an hour into that project. So that doesn't take away from the other things that I have. Now, if you are an advanced person, why you'll like this is because you see the opportunity about scale. And the scaling is, well, let me build a team to create my content. Let me build a team to do my graphics. Let me build a team so I can do 10, 15, 20 projects a year, right? That's where the advanced person is going to think. So here's what you're going to get. The complete step-by-step home study program, how to find the most profitable niche markets. I'm going to show you, by the way, the niche markets that fall within the realm that we want. We don't want the, hey, 10,000 competitors. We want the ones that we can go in and start having success. The strategies I use that let me know that a market's going to work before I go into it. I'm going to teach you how I created a piece of content in an afternoon. My true story. It took me, I want to say 2 hours, 3 hours to create this piece of content. And I probably sold 40, 50,000 units of that product. How to create kits for maximum profitability. Do you have to create kits? No. Should you create kits? Yes. That's the most profitable thing you could sell on Amazon. I saw a kit the other day, and it was just a bunch of DVDs and some flashcards, $99. When I subtract the cost, which is what, probably $7, $8 in cost, plus Amazon fees, they're probably walking away with about $70 after expense on that $99 product. That's good margin, guys. Okay. How to reach customers globally on Amazon, even outside of your main country. So if you're in Australia, how to sell in the US. If you're in the US, how to sell in Australia. And then building a massive buyer list. There's a couple things you could do. I showed you guys one today, but we'll go into more details on the process on how to do that. And then how to find the hidden keywords that will explode your sales. Because here's the reality. Like I said, Amazon they don't know what you're selling until you tell them. So there's tools that we use to find the keyword to go out and rank for. And then how to create your listing. How about you watch me create the listing? Your listing is what people see when they come to Amazon. So I'm going to show you exactly what we put in the listing. So I believe in teaching a person how to fish, because if you can fish, you can eat for a lifetime. So if I teach you how to write that listing, nobody can ever take that knowledge away from you. And then how to rank instantly. I showed you a couple things today, but we're going to go into more details on that, because who wants to rank slow, right? I don't want to rank slow. I'd rather rank fast. Then from there, it's how to scale. Once I got that one product, what's the process that I'm now going to get 2, 3, 4, even more products? Okay. So how is the content delivered? The trainings are all recorded and inside of the members area. So you can begin the training immediately after going through this presentation here. You can start going through it. And if you want to go through everything over the next day or two, you can do that. If you want to take a week to do that, you can do that as well. It's all self-paced. Now, I'm also going to give you access to me. So if you've got a question, there's a Q&A form inside the members area. I answer each and every one of those myself personally, each and every one. Why? Because I'm not going to send that to an admin. I'm the marketing guy. So if you have a question, each and every one of those, I'm going to answer personally. Now, if you have a question, your login's not working, my admin can take care of something like that. I'm also going to do 2 more things for you. I'm going to give you lifetime access to the training. So if you want to come back in a year and do a refresher, you can do that. And I'm going to do something else for you. And that is, I'm going to allow you and a business partner to have access to the training at the same time. So both of you can log in at the same time. Now, why am I doing that? Listen, I got business partners, and sometimes we say, hey, let's buy a course together. We put, $1,000 each into the program, and then only one of us can log in. I'm going to tell you, Ty and I buy courses together all the time. And there was a Facebook course last year we bought. Both of us couldn't log into the program at the same time. I said, now that sucks. We both put the money together. So I didn't want to do that to you guys. So I'm going to allow you to have a business partner. In fact, I encourage you to have a business partner. Nothing wrong with that. So both of you can log in at the same time. So you're going to get the complete step-by-step home study program. Now, bonus number 1, I'm going to teach you how to create something that I call the perfect customer experience. I didn't get an opportunity to explain what that is today, but basically we figured out a way to get reviews on Amazon. And the more reviews you get, the higher you rank and the more sales you get. So to give you an example, when we implemented this, my total cost was about, I want to say $40, and it took about 30 minutes to implement. Okay, so $40, 30 minutes to implement. At the time we did that, we had, I want to say 10 reviews in 6 months. We implemented that. In the next 6 months, we had 140 reviews. So like 1,000% more reviews just by implementing the better customer experience. And basically what the better customer experience does is it lets the customer know you are a human and not a robot. Okay, so that's bonus number 1. So you're going to get the Amazon step-by-step training, and you're going to get the perfect customer review. Guys, I learned this from one of my mentors. Money replenishes itself. And when I asked, what do you mean by that? He goes, think about it. What happens when you get a check? You get a check on the 1st, you pay some bills. On the 15th, you get another check, you pay some more bills. And does your time do the same thing? And think about this. What happens if you miss your son's basketball game? You miss your daughter's recital. You don't get that back. When I was in corporate America, they had me on a plane every other day, and I hated it. My son was 6 months old at the time. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember the first almost year of his life until I quit my job. I don't remember the first time he said mama or dad. I don't know which one he said first. I don't remember the first time he walked. I don't remember any of that stuff. And it's not because I was a deadbeat dad. I was doing what I was supposed to do. I had a job. I was bringing money in. I was taking care of the family, making sure there was a roof over the head. But I don't get that time back. Now, when he was about 1, that's when I quit my job, started my own business. Now, let me tell you, my other 2 sons, my middle son, I remember I used to go pick him up at the daycare, and then I would walk through the door. He was probably a year and a half, 2 years, and he'd be sitting there. And as soon as he turned around and he saw me, he would get up and he'd start running. I remember each one of the Christmas and Thanksgiving Day lunches at the school, I'd be the only dad there. And I used to think, man, that's a shame that other dads don't have the opportunity to go. But I was able to do that. Why? Because I was able to now have time. Okay. So now, bonus number 2, I'm going to teach you how to outsource everything. You're not going to start there with outsourcing, especially if you're a beginner. But when you start to think about scaling, outsourcing is the way to go, right? It's better to pay someone $50, let them do it, than for you to do it yourself. I'll teach you exactly how we outsource, where we outsource, and what we get them to do for us, okay? So you're going to get the course, the perfect customer experience, and you're going to learn how to outsource everything. Now, information alone, look, I wish information was all it took. We'd all be billionaires, right? What it takes is work, determination, but it also takes a mentor who is willing to shortcut the process and help you and teach you how they got there, right? Does it take work? 100% it does. Don't listen to anyone who tells you, oh, you just sit on your butt and make $1 million. But it's much easier if you got a mentor that can help you and teach you and shortcut some of the mistakes for you. Okay, let me be that mentor for you. Now, bonus number 3 is the Void Finder. Basically, Void Finder is a tool we created. I put in my keywords, and then it goes to Amazon. It analyzes those keywords, and it says, hey, Greg, these 3 keywords are good. These 5 keywords are terrible. You're never going to rank for those. So basically, it lets me know which keywords that I can rank for, so I don't waste my time with keywords that I'm not going to rank for, because it'll look good, but I'm never going to rank for them, so why even waste time on them? Okay, bonus number 4. Remember I talked about upsell? So someone who buys content from you, the best thing to upsell them is more content. Well, what's the best format to sell that content in? Guess what, guys? How about a membership site? What if you could take that customer who just purchased from you, now you roll them into a monthly membership site that you can charge them whatever dollar amount that you want. So I'm going to teach you the process on how to do that. There's a wrong way and there's a right way to do that. So I'm going to teach you the right way. Now, I do want to let you know that that's only going to be available to the first 15 people today. Now, money or excuses? You guys realize both of these cannot exist in your life at the same time? People who make money don't make excuses. People who make excuses don't make money. There is no way both of these can exist in your life at the same time. It's like atoms, they repel each other. So my dad, when he came to this country, he chose no more excuses. When I started my business, I chose no more excuses. Now, did I have to work? You better believe I did. Did he have to work? You better believe he did. But, like I said, he left each one of his kids a house free and clear. So you're going to get the Azon Profit System, creating the perfect customer experience. You're going to learn how to outsource everything. You're going to get the Void Finder software. And the first 15 of you will get my Amazon upsell system. Now, guys, here's the thing. If all you did today was launch one product, right? And what if that one product became successful? You didn't create 10,000 products, right? And maybe it makes you $100 a month, 50, whatever that number is. Is it worth an investment to be able to do that? And the answer is yes. Because the reality is, if you look at the stock market, right? If you wanted to get a return in the stock market, how much money do you have to invest to get $1,000 return? At 10%, you need 10,000. What about 10,000 return? You need 100,000, right? Well, creating an info product online that may cost you $100 to create, it's a way better way to invest your money. That's why when crypto was going crazy, I didn't get into the Bitcoin craze, because I said I could create a product and I could buy resale rights to something. I'd rather go do that. I know my chances on that is way higher than it was with crypto. So guys, all you have to do right now to get started, is for one payment of $997 is go to azonmasterclass.com/tie. Now, I'm going to let you know, normally, in fact, we just did a webinar recently. Our normal price now is $1,497. And the last group training we did was at that price, but Ty asked if I can give you guys the discounted price. And, I've known Ty for 20 years. I probably spent more time at Ty's house than I have in my own brother's house. So I said, for his people, I'm going to do that. So you guys are going to get the discounted price today. So now, do we have a money back guarantee? Absolutely, we do. We're going to give you a 30-day money back guarantee. If the Amazon Masterclass is not everything as we've explained, please allow me to buy that back from you. No questions asked. But I do want to say this. Who are we looking for? We're looking for doers and action takers. Why? Because I'm going to invest a lot of time into your success. When you have a question, you're going to call me. I'm going to invest the time to help you and answer your questions and show you where you're going right or where you're going wrong. So for that reason, we are definitely looking for the doers and the action takers, not the lookers. Okay. So why $997? Guys, look, I had a choice. Number one, I can sell this for $40 and put it on the JVZoo platform or one of these ClickBank things, right? Guess what that wouldn't do? That wouldn't incentivize me to stack the value and invest my time into you, because how can I help you? How much time can I give you if you only invested $40? But on the flip side, I said, well, why not, for a little higher investment, not only can I devote more time to you, but you're also going to be more serious as well. And that's what I want to see. I love getting the testimonials. I love getting the stories from friends, from students. I love them sending me a picture of what they've done. That's what I'm looking for. So this is the last time you're going to see that price. We are going to be going to $1,997. And Ty will tell you the last webinar we did was $1,497, and the one before that was $1,997. So that was the price. And we're also going to a coaching model, which is going to be about $5,000. So you're not going to be seeing this price much longer. So now, how many people can we accept into the program? I'm going to cap it at 25. Why? Because there was a time where I did a webinar, we didn't cap it, had a lot of people come in, and guess what? I didn't change the amount of time that I spent with everyone. I just drove myself nuts for 3 months. I was a miserable grump. My wife was pissed at me all the time because I was miserable. So I promised her and promised myself I'm not going to do that again. So we're going to cap it at 25. Now, but let me give you a couple extra bonuses to incentivize you. First of all, a group Q&A training with me. Look, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. I know you're going to have questions. Every one of you are at different levels. So we have group Q&A calls. We're going to have some coming up this week. So you definitely want to get started as soon as possible. So you're going to have access to 3 group Q&A calls with me. And because I'm the only one there answering the questions, that means I can't have 5,000 people on that group call. We have to limit it to just 25 people. Okay. So fear or curiosity, true story. My parents were deathly afraid of flying. I think that's where I got it from. We moved to Atlanta. I was so proud. I bought this new house, nice house. I thought my parents were going to come visit me all the time. My mom has been to my house probably twice before she passed. And it was sad for us because she missed a lot of time. I mean, we'd go back to Connecticut and visit, but she was always like, well, what if it's snowing? Well, what if the plane has this issue? Well, what if that happens? Or what if this happens? And my mom lived her life by fear. So she didn't get to see much of anything, right? Even to come the 2 times she came, she had to take a Xanax to be able to do it. Now, my dad passed in 2022, and I was responsible for doing his eulogy. And so I was in his apartment, just going through pictures. He loved pictures. I didn't realize how much my dad loved pictures. So I'm going through the pictures, and I said to my sister, I said, why does that look like he was on a cruise? She goes, he took a cruise every year. I said, he did? I had no idea the man took a cruise every year. There was another picture. He was at, what do you call that in Rome? He was at, where the Pope's place, the house is, right? Then he was in front of the Eiffel Tower. And I
Vatican.
said, The Vatican, that's what it was. And I said to my sister, did he know he had to get on a plane to go there? To give you an example how terrified my dad was of flying, he wanted to see a championship game with LeBron James versus the Celtics in 2010. He took a bus from Connecticut to Miami to do that. And when he wanted to go to Vegas, he took a bus from New York to Vegas. It took 3 days on a bus to get there. So the man was terrified of flying, but his curiosity to see the world was bigger than his fear. So he saw the world, and I didn't even realize that he did. But I was so glad to have been able to go through his stuff to learn that about him. Totally puts a completely different perspective on my dad. So, guys, do you live the curious life or do you live the fearful life? Right? What if what I'm teaching you might actually change your life? That's the question you want to ask. So let me give you 3 bonuses for the first 15 people. I'm going to teach you how we sell the digital products on Amazon. Remember I said we're sending these to Amazon? I'm going to teach you the whole process on how we do that, what we put on the cards, how we ship them, the whole thing. Okay, first 15 of you. So now you don't have to send a DVD, cheat sheets, or nothing. You could send a completely product that's going to be downloadable where they give you their name and email. Bonus number 2, I got to teach you something with AI. There's no way I could leave AI out of this. So we have a whole module. When you look at what we did today, we go into more in depth on that whole process, finding the products, coming up with different ideas, and getting chat to create that for you. So it's a whole module on how to use AI. And that thing is going to evolve because every day AI is evolving. Now we're getting into using AI to create video content as well. So that's going to be crazy once that comes out. The third piece is I went out and researched a whole bunch of niche markets. So I made a list of about 250 niche markets out there that I thought were pretty good. This is my list. In fact, some of my products are actually still on that list. So when I give it to you, I'm giving you the whole list with my products on there. I'm not going to give you the names of what my products are because if I did, everybody's going to go and do the same exact thing. So, but I am going to give you the full list of that we are using and what we're pulling our products from. Okay, so you're going to get everything, the Azon Profit System, creating the perfect customer experience. You're going to learn how to outsource everything, the Void Finder software to find the best keywords. You're going to learn how to use the Amazon upsell and take your customers into a recurring membership. Going to give you the 3 live group calls. Going to teach you how to sell your course digitally on Amazon and have them downloaded from your website. And again, the first 15 of you will also get my 250 hot niche markets to target. And I'm going to teach you how to create all of that using AI as well. All you have to do for one payment of $997 is go to Azon Profit System or azonmasterclass.com/Ty. Now, people ask me, is it easy? Let me give you my perspective on the word easy.
So wait, someone has a question here really quickly. Guys, you should not see 1997. You should see 997. Yeah, so it's 997. So as Greg said, it would normally be, yes. So Viviana says that the site says 1997, Greg.
Let me just check that really quick.
Okay. So yeah, just double check and I'll check it as well. I do know I asked Greg to discount it for you guys. So I see it here on my side where it says 997. So the link that I just put into the box does say 997. That's the discount that Greg is giving you. So yes, I do see it says 997. Right? So can you try that again?
Yep.
Vivian?
And I'm trying.
Viviana, I'm sorry. Can you try that again and then let me know? So now here's the thing. So Samala says that hers says 997. All right, so awesome, perfect. So yeah, so please go in and use the link that says 997. Don't use the $2,000 link because I did ask Greg to give everyone here a discount. So Kathy Rupert, that's the discount. I know Kathy said that she was getting in, so good to see you, Kathy, in here. Now here's the thing. So Greg did say that the first 15 people that actually got in will get those bonuses that he mentioned initially. That's not a scarcity thing. Look, in actuality, because of FTC regulations, you can't do scarcity. So if you see anyone that's doing scarcity and they're not true to it, that's a violation. So this is actually the first 15 people that actually get in will get those bonuses. If you get in after the 15, whether you're watching this thing live right now or you're watching a recording, because I will be sending out the recording, God willing that the recording is intact, then you're good to go. All right. But you want to make sure that you are part of the first 15. This is a skill set here. Like, this is a skill set. Greg kind of alluded to that at the very beginning. It's a skill set just like learning marketing, right? When I first learned marketing, how many ever years ago, I first heard that once you learn something like this, it can never be taken away from you. So when you learn this and you learn it the right way, not learning by trying to do it on your own, but learning from someone that has the knowledge, someone that has the success, someone that made the mistakes, and now they can walk you through what not to do, then you get to do it the right way and you get to learn it and develop that skill set that never leaves you. All right. So Greg, we actually see your Amazon screen. I don't know if you meant to.
Yep.
Okay.
What I was going to do is show you guys, which I forgot to mention, that so you have two options. So here, let's go to the link. And once you get here, you're going to see that there's two options on the right. One is one payment using credit card or even PayPal, one payment of $997 or two payments of $549. That's using your credit card or using PayPal. Now, we just also added this option here, which is get financing. So if you wanted more than two payments, or if you wanted to use financing to do that, where you can pay monthly, then click this link here. And once you do that, I'll show you what's going to happen. It'll take you to the shopping cart, as you can see, $997. And then right here, you're going to see, as it loads here, you can click on either Klarna or you can click on Affirm. And then once you do that, it'll show you where you can choose, different payment options from 6 to 18 months. Affirm, theirs looks like 6 to 18 months as well. So it's going to be as little as $62 a month if you do the financing options. If you want to pay with your credit card, that's going to be one payment, or again, I'll show you that right here. So here you can choose either one payment for $997 or two payments for $549. And then you can also choose your own credit card, or you can choose to do it with PayPal. Okay. So just want to show you guys that.
All right. And then Kathy was asking she's saying that she just went in and ordered, but it won't let her pass the screen without listening to the OTO video. And she can't listen here and listen to the video as well. So she's wondering what's the cost of that.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, that's additional training. If she wanted that, that's $997. There's a no thank you link at the bottom of it. She can click on that.
All right. Kari says this has been an amazing presentation. All right. I see a few other people that have just joined in. So welcome aboard, everyone. Samala just answered your question. We would love to see you as well. Gave you a link there. Everyone else, I'm going to give you guys the link as well. So it's good to have you in. Come in, join us in this program. Like I said at the very beginning, this is something that I think is such an ideal business. People often ask, like, what's a great business to start, especially at the very beginning of a year like this, right? What's a good business to get into? This is such a good idea, but I actually had Greg give me access to this thing. I went in, got this program for my wife and for my daughter. So I got it for my daughter first, my daughter Maya, and then I went back and ended up asking Greg again so that my wife could get involved with it. This is something that's really cool. It's also, as I said at the very beginning, once you understand the processes that go into this and you get a skill set, like once you develop a skill set, no one can ever take it away from you. It's like going to college. My son is in college right now. My daughter's about to go to college next year. The skill sets that they learn cannot be taken away from them, right? The skill set that you learn here in terms of being able to make money with Amazon, being able to understand what people are looking to buy, being able to understand what's selling, being able to understand how to go in and properly do market research, it's also transferable. So any other businesses that you think about starting in the future or that you might currently have, the stuff that Greg teaches you, because he's such a master at marketing and he's such a master at thinking outside of a box, you'll be able to take that and apply it to almost every other thing that you do as it relates to marketing online and creating an online business. So this is definitely something that's more than worth it. And he's been generous enough to give us a super discount. Just don't go share that link with anyone else, guys, because I want that discount to stay here in the group. Oh, so Viviana still says that, sorry, Greg, that hers still says 1990. Can you send me your email, Viviana? Send it to me privately and I'll send you the link and then let's see what happens. You might have to go in and clear your cache, right? Or open up an incognito window.
Yeah.
She's on mobile. Are you on your phone, Viviana? Let me know if you're watching on your phone. I'm just curious. Who here is watching on their phone also? Just let me know if you're watching on your phone.
No, what?
Greg, back to you.
It could be. You know what? I will check if on the mobile. I'll check in a second. Once we get into Q&A, I will check to make sure that on mobile, we don't have something weird going on mobile.
I think that's what it might be.
Yeah, I'll check that in a second. So, so the question is it easy? So I didn't get to where I am thinking, oh, this is hard. I shouldn't do this. You know what I say to myself is, okay, this may be hard, but all I got to do is step one. Then once I got step one, all I got to do is step two. Once I have step two, all I got to do is step three. See, when you think about everything in one, your brain is going to tell you that it's hard. But let me tell you, when my dad came to this country making $1 an hour, do you know what he was calling his friends back in Haiti? And he was telling them, I made it. I've made it. I'm rich. Right? Because in Haiti, he was making like 10 cents an hour. Our neighborhood was so rough. We got robbed twice when we were still in the house. They broke in the middle of the night. And yet my dad was calling his friends in Haiti and saying, you won't believe this. I got a toilet inside the house. Because in Haiti, there's an outhouse that you got to go through. And let me tell you, I went to Haiti. Last time I went, I was probably in 7th grade. You don't want to use the outhouse. That is not fun. I promise you, you do not ever want to use an outhouse, right? So he's telling his friends, I flush a button and the poop goes into the ground and it disappears. He goes, I could turn a knob and water comes out the walls and I take a shower. Man, in Haiti, I said to we get there, I said to my grandmother, you know, I want to take a shower. And she points out to the backyard and gives me a bucket and goes, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? I'm from Stamford, Connecticut. We don't do this kind of stuff. And so I had to go in the backyard. There's a well. I got to get water out of the well. And on the side of the well, you're sitting there lathering yourself up in mid-daylight and everybody's watching you. Then you got to throw water on yourself. And don't miss a spot and let soap stay on your skin because you got to walk back to the well, get more water, and then she's going to beat you for wasting the water. That's what Haiti was like. So he's telling his friends, he's getting robbed left and right, but he's telling his friends that he made it. That's hard, guys. That's hard. I think the things that we have to do to be successful is minuscule compared to what other people and some people have to do to have a better life. And when he came here, nobody told him he was supposed to fail. That's the other thing. He didn't know he was supposed to come here and fail. He only knew this was a better life than what was in Haiti. Yet the man owned 4 houses with no mortgages on them. The last house that he bought was a foreclosure. And when he went to the bank said, well, we're not offering any financing on this. Well, how do you plan to pay, or where are you going to get financing? And he said in his very thick accent, oh, don't you worry. I'm going to write you a check. And he wrote a check and bought a house.
Wow. I mean, look, again, it goes back to that Wayne Dyer quote that I shared at the very beginning, right? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I think that oftentimes it's just a matter of being able to willing to take risk, right? Yeah. Greg, you know, I bought my mom's house and paid for it in cash, right? So before she died, I bought her a house, paid for it in cash. Now, Greg's not saying that you guys come into this program, you're going to be able to go and buy houses and pay for cash. What we are talking about is just being able to gamble on yourself and risk yourself. We risk every single day going in and working for someone else. We risk every single day hoping that the government, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats or the independents or whoever, are going to do something different for us than we could possibly do for ourselves. So it is, you guys will see me wear shirts all the time. I don't have one around here that says, if it's to be, it's up to me, right? And I believe that it truly is that. I grew up in a very interesting time, right, where I had to develop, like Greg, like your father, we had to develop this mindset of, if there is to be change, but change is really up to me. It doesn't matter how old you are, right? Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter where you were born. Doesn't matter, you know, your education level. It doesn't matter your the number of contacts that you have. Doesn't matter if you're someone that is totally illiterate, especially with AI nowadays, right? So welcome to everyone that's aboard. Viviana, welcome to you as well. I see where you did figure it out. So she said, Greg, that she had to scroll down past the first price, and then she saw that price. So she figured it out now. So good to see you in, Viviana. Samala, I'm going to get this right before the end of the webinar, Samala. I just got it. All right. So Samala says, so you say, is there a money back guarantee, and how long is the money back guarantee?
It's a 30-day money back guarantee.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. So there's your answer with that, Samala. So we're looking forward to having you in this thing as well. What else?
I found where the 1997 was. It was only on mobile that was showing, so I just found that and fixed it.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Awesome. Awesome. Okay.
Hey, look, even marketers, we make mistakes.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Look, you don't have to be perfect to do this stuff. One of the things that I discovered is, once you understand the skill set that works for you, and this is how you'll know if it works for you, if it resonates with, if there's something in your heart that's telling you that this is the thing, then you go for it. If there's something that's in your heart that isn't saying that this is the thing, then you don't go for it, right? But chances are, if you're still on this webinar, if you're still watching right now, unless you just don't have anything else to do, right? Unless you just have an ungodly amount of free time, which I doubt most people do. There's a reason why you're still on this thing. And that is, your heart is speaking to you. Your heart is talking to you. There's something in this that you see. There's something maybe in Greg. There's something in this program that you see that's saying, hey, look, give this thing a shot. And what happens is, oftentimes we'll have that and we'll talk ourselves out of it. We'll say, I don't have the time. Maybe I'm doing something else. I don't have the money. I'm going to wait until the conditions are perfect, which the conditions are never going to be perfect. We'll say, well, maybe I can do it on my own, which is one of the biggest mistakes, because, you know, when you look at things like time, they have not yet figured out how to replicate time. They figured out how to print money, right? Greg talked about that earlier. You can go in, you can replace money at some point in time, but time, where you can go in, you figure out how someone has done something, and then you go in, you model what it is that they've done instead of wasting time trying to figure it out. They haven't figured that out yet. How do I go in and clone myself? Even as smart as man is, right? So if time is the issue, and you're thinking that you're going to do this on your own, I would get that thought out of my head, right? Model someone that's done it. Tony Robbins talks about this. He says, if you want to be successful at something, you find someone that's been successful at it and you model their system. Doesn't matter what it costs, you model them, because your time is always going to be much more valuable than you being able to get access to a system. That's why the rich get richer, right? Because they understand the value of access, right? So welcome to everyone else that's in this thing. All right. I'm going to share the link one more time. And boom, there you have it. You have it in the chat box. Greg, anything else that you got?
Yeah. You know, just kind of piggybacking off of what you said and what we were talking about. It's, you know, most people, there's a couple things that hold us back, and it's beliefs. One is mistakes. I'm afraid of mistakes. They're afraid of, you know, fear of failure, and the belief that I got to know everything. And you know what a good marketer knows? Any good marketer, they all have one thing in common. We know that we don't know. We know that we have to go find out. That's how we know when we got a good product. So we got to try it and see. So failure And fear is not something you run from, it's something you go through. It's part of the process. We all hit fear. Look, I told you guys, I had my Amazon account for over a year before I put a product in there because I was like, man, what if I get this thing wrong? But then I saw an 8-year-old do it, and I said, oh, I'll be damned if I'm going to let an 8-year-old beat me. That's not going to happen. So we all have it. But the key is to get where you want in life. It's fear and failure is not something you avoid. It's something you go through. A good book I recommend you guys read. It's called Go for the No. It's a really, really good book called Go for the No. But I look forward to working with you guys and you know, teaching you guys and helping you and showing you what we're doing and what Amazon is looking for and building a absolutely long lasting relationship.
All right, this is cool. So for everyone that's in, congratulations, welcome. You took the leap. All right. The biggest bet that you can make is betting on yourself. Right. So Tara S just said, I'm in now as well. Thank you, Tara, for putting that in there as well. So welcome aboard, Tara. And maybe Greg, one day I know you do. This is what I want to ask you, because I know people are wondering this. You have your next group training. When is your next group training? Because I want everyone. So I see Samela says she's close. So Samela, keep trying to go in. Greg, you got a couple of more minutes. I want to stay on until Samela is actually able to get in, just in case she has any issues, and that way we can walk her through it. So Samela, we'll walk you through, or we'll stay on. All right, let us know. So Greg, in the meantime, so I know that you have your group Q&A that's coming up. When is that?
It's going to be Monday.
Gotcha. Got it. So this Monday.
This Monday coming up.
Got it. Okay, perfect. What time is it Monday, if you don't mind? Can we share that on here?
Yeah, 2 p.m.
So 2 p.m. Eastern. So same time that we started this training here. So it'll be on Monday. That will allow you guys that are in this program that took the leap to come in and jump in and get insight from Greg. He's going to show you what you need to do well with this thing, right? As well as in terms of, when I say well, in terms of understanding it and in terms of putting it together quickly, in terms of being able to ask him questions, in terms of being around a group of peers that are getting started with you. Will it be people that are already in this program and that as well? Viviana says, I'm in as well. So boom. Good to see you, Viviana. You got in? Great.
Yeah, so we will have, typically from our past classes, you will usually get a handful of people will come in there as well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And then
that's the place. Every question you got, bring it. Bring the hard stuff, bring the easy stuff, bring them all.
yeah, that's smart. One of the things, Greg, that I realized is, look, we've both been around some really successful people, right? People that have done really well. One of the things that I notice is that the most successful people, they don't have problems asking questions. And it was shocking to me once I started to get in this space, right? And I'm like, dude, this guy, like this person, this lady, she's crushing it. Why is she asking these questions that seemingly are basic? And that's because they understand that there's no such thing as a dumb question. So for those of you that are in this program and that will continue to get in this program, because I know there's people that are continuously trying, when you get in on the group coaching, ask the questions. If you have questions right now, ask the questions. Kathy just asked a question. So good. So Kathy is saying, she signed up. Will she get the link to the Monday class? Or when will she get the link to the Monday class?
So if she logs in, look for the Q&A link and just register there.
Gotcha. Okay. So Kathy, you got that. Log in, look for the Q&A link and register right there. Kathy is a sweetheart, so she'll be a great addition to your class, Greg. Do you have anything else that you want to share here?
Yeah, as you were talking about questions, do you know, okay, I'm gonna teach you guys something. The group calls that we do are just as good and important for me as they are for the students. Now let me tell you why. Most people, we talked about perfection. Most people, what holds them from launching a product is they say it's got to be perfect. And then they're waiting. I talked to a lady once. She was working on some product. 9 years she had been working on that product. And I said, what were you doing for 9 years? Oh, I'm perfecting it and this, that, and the other thing. I said, see, now that's the difference between you and me. I said, I would have been selling for 9 years and making improvements over the 9 years.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no such thing as a winning as a perfect product. So how do you get a better product? By listening to what your customers are saying. So when we do the group Q&A calls, you don't think I'm writing those questions down and saying, oh, we should have covered this, we should have covered that. So version 2 of the course, which we just released this year, was 100% based off of the questions we got over the last year during the group calls.
It gives you a better understanding of as a coach, as an instructor, right?
100%.
Yeah. And then congrats to Samala as well. I told you I was going to get your name right. She just says, all right, I'm in. So there you go. Look, I want to share something with you also. And that is when I first started, I don't know what aspirations you guys have. If you're still watching this again, I don't know if your aspirations are to just build an online digital business. If you have aspirations to be a coach, if you have aspirations to do trainings like this, webinars and virtual events, challenges. You guys have seen me do all of this stuff, right? Live events. Some of you have been to my live in-person events, which Greg has also been a speaker at.
Yep.
I don't know if you have aspirations of just building a business and being behind the scenes where no one ever sees you and you're just like this, you're just off camera. When I first got started, that was me. It was always being 100% off camera. And I was scared to death to speak in front of people, to be on camera. I always thought, well, look, I don't have it, whatever it is, right? And you're probably wondering that right now. I don't have it. I always found something wrong, and there's always going to be something wrong. I always thought, well, maybe Greg could do it. You know, he's got this education. You know, he went to UConn. Maybe, you know, maybe that's the reason why he could do it. Maybe Greg can do it because he's Haitian. Maybe that's the reason why he can do it, right? I mean, all of these silly reasons that we'll give ourselves within the space. I said, well, maybe Greg could do it because he's got glasses. It's got to be the glasses, right? The glasses probably make him much smarter. So I want you to think of, and this is anything, it just doesn't have to be this program, but specifically also think about it as it relates to this program. As you're in it, as you're going through it, what is the reason, the excuse, the story that you're holding on to?
Yeah.
Right? And that's the exercise that you need to do. I still do these exercises to this day. Whenever I have a roadblock, and roadblocks are typically just in our head. I'll go and I say, hey, Ty, what the heck is the story that I'm telling myself? What is the story that I'm telling myself? And then once you know it, you can get past it. Unless you want to hang on to it. Some of us, we get addicted to our stories and we want to hang on to them because it feels good, right? People make us feel good. We make ourselves feel good. Get into this freaking program. Get past your story. If I can do this stuff, if Greg can do this stuff, not to take anything from myself or Greg, you can do this. Trust me, there's people that are in this program and that are doing other things that can't hold a candle to your intelligence, to your charisma, to your willingness, right? To your self-discipline, to your just ability to go in and say, you know what? I don't know what the hell I'm getting myself into, but I'm going to jump into it. There's people that are not even willing to do that. There's people that are actually right here, okay, that are afraid of clicking a button. There's people that are afraid of jumping into this thing for whatever reasons, and oftentimes we don't even know the reason. So I want you to get into this program. And then on Monday, I want you to make sure that you're part of a class because that's the first step. Just buying the program alone is not going to make you successful. Get in this thing and I want you to bug Greg. I want you to bug any question that comes to mind, you ask him and you get really good at asking questions. All right. And then that's how you start to get better. The first webinar that I did as a result of Greg. Many years ago, and I was terrified of doing it, as I said at the very beginning. And I'm watching him and I'm seeing him do this stuff and I'm seeing him just being really successful. And I'm like, again, giving myself all of these reasons. And one day I said, you know what? I'm gonna freaking do it. I did the webinar, I laid it out, and guess what happened? It blew up. My computer died in the middle of a freaking webinar. I remember it was with a guy by the name of Joe Peterson. I don't know if you remember that, Greg.
I do.
But my computer died. It was on an old computer. Joe sends Greg a message. He's like, what is Ty on? Like an old 486 or a dial-up modem? He's making fun of me. I felt like crap, but I also felt good because I got past my fear of playing small. I got past my fear of playing on the sidelines. Get past your fear. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to look stupid probably. People are going to doubt you. People are going to say that it's a scam. People are going to say you're wasting your money. As long as you believe in yourself, and then you're good to go. All right. So if you look at the Ty that you saw back then versus the Ty that you see now, and I still have a long way to go, you would never be able to tell that this was the person that was afraid. All right. So you're afraid right now. Get in this thing. Do what it is that you need to do. And that is just being really comfortable with asking questions and then doing the work. All right. So, Viviana, yes, we will have, hopefully I'll have a recording. We'll send that recording out. Actually, here's what you're going to be able to do, Viviana. So the same link that you used to join this Zoom today, it will be the link that you will have the replay on. Okay, so the exact same link that you got in your email, give it until later on, about 6 hours. I'm gonna have my admin go in and she's gonna set it up and you'll have a replay on that page. So it won't lead you to Zoom, it'll lead you to a page that has the recording of this, all right? And then Samala is asking, is there a PayPal option?
Yeah. So once you click on, I'll show you where PayPal is.
And then after that, Greg, I gotta run because my wife and my daughter are at the airport, and I want to give them a call and make sure that they actually made their flight because they were a little bit behind. So
Soon as you get here,
we can't see you. Are you sharing your screen? Oh, okay, I see it. I see it.
Yep. Yep. So there's the PayPal. So you can click PayPal or credit card.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, awesome. And then also, can you click the PayPal button again, Greg?
Yep.
So here's what you'll also see where you can use PayPal credit on there as well. All right, so PayPal credit is another way where if you wanted to, you can go in and you can do like a buy now, pay later. I think with PayPal credit, they give you like 6 months to make that payment. All right. All right, guys. So if you're not in, go in, stop procrastinating, stop playing, stop thinking that you're going to do it at some point. Some point will never come as long as you believe that. I'm going to give you the link once again. All right. That is it. Be part of a big boy and big girl club. Take a gamble on yourself and then just join us in this thing. All right. Money, love, speed. Absolutely, Kathy. That's one of our sayings in the community. So she just put it in there. Thank you for reminding me of that. All right. I'll see you guys. Stay well. Greg, this was amazing. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Rocking this out, man.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Can you leave a link up for like 2 or 3 minutes if you don't mind? That way everyone, guys, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, type that link into your browser. If you are not in yet, type that into your browser. Azon Masterclass. Greg just took it away. This guy's serious. If you're not in, he's gonna jeez. I thought I moved fast. This guy.
I don't even know how that happened, to be honest with you, but
Yeah, if you're not in already, here's what I want you to do. If you need to, I don't know how much more convincing that you might need to convince yourself. azonmasterclass.com/TY. Just write that down, or better yet, yes, write it down. Do yourself 2 favors. Write it down and also type it into your browser if you're not in yet. But make a decision. The most successful people that I know of, right? I don't know how much this stands globally, but I know people that are, they have this ability to make decisions quickly. And it's not out of foolishness. It's not out of being, careless, right? But it is someone, again, who knows what they want. They understand that the thing that they're after is it for them? Is the thing for them? And they act on it quickly. Right? I see people that, and Greg, you probably have seen this as well, that, I mean, it takes them, a decision can take them days and weeks and months. And what happens is they never end up doing it. I got a friend of mine, and this guy, I'm not going to say his name actually, just for the privacy of his family. He was an amazingly smart guy, right? I used to advertise in the back of magazines, right? I used to sell a product, and it was actually a software program. And that's how him and I met, because he used to advertise in the back of magazines, and he would see
Remember this guy.
yeah, back in the day, he would see my ads and I would see his ads, and we would always be like, oh my God, who is this person that has these great ads? And one day he ended up calling me, or maybe I called him, I forget who called who first. And we ended up talking for a while. And he had ambitions to start an online business. He always had ambitions to start an online business, and he never got to fulfill that because he always procrastinated. He always thought about it. He always had to make sure things were right. And I remember one day his sister called me, and his sister and I knew each other because we both have sickle cell anemia. So, and her son also has sickle cell anemia. So we would chat every once in a while about ways to make sure that our health was at the top of the spectrum. And she calls me one day, and it was at a really odd time because it was super early in the morning. And she says, Ty, do you know so-and-so, my brother passed, right? Her brother had died. And the only thing that I could think about is the fact that he took all of his brilliance and all of his ideas and all of his wannabes and his aspirations to the grave with him. He took all of his stuff to the grave with him, right? And it was just a reminder to myself that the things that I want to do, to make sure that I act on it, right? To not give myself an excuse, because I'd rather act and fail than not act, right? And I think that that's where a lot of people are, right? They are afraid of acting because they may fail, or, which hurts a lot of people, is the what will other people think of me, right? If I at least try and nothing becomes of this. When most people never try, right? So are you looking at and afraid of people who don't even have the nerve to try? Like, they don't even have the balls to try. So someone who doesn't have the nerve to try, they hold no weight in my universe. All right. So there you go. azonmasterclass.com/TY. All right. This is it. This is the last one. We promise you. I know we said goodbye 2 or 3 times. We'll see you. Stay well, guys.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye. All right. Samela says I'm all signed up. Boom. There you go. All right. Thank you, guys.
Goodbye, everyone.
All right.